It's been a bumpy start to 2023 for game releases. February was great, but January and March each had just a couple noteworthy releases. Things get back on track in April. Spring has sprung, and with it comes video game options that span the spectrum, like wildflowers growing on a sun-scorched mountainside. No matter what you like, there's something to consider. EA's PGA Tour franchise was once privy to the rise and fall of Tiger Woods, but it's relaunching the series without him. And really, without most professional golfers you might actually recognize. With just 11 real pros in the game, the focus is on realistic hacking instead, but for its $70 price tag, we should probably get both? You do get 28 real courses, 20 different shot types, and some new tech called Pure Strike that strives to provide unique golf swings with a fluid feel and realistic outcomes. We'll see. Golf video games have gone from 0 to 100 real quick, as EA Sports and 2K renew their rivalry with competing golf products. Keep an eye on reviews for this one. Hades' top-down action RPG gameplay and its rewarding roguelite loop landed at Game of the Year awards, but few have tried to emulate its concoction. Enter Raven's Watch. This roguelite isometric action RPG follows this beaten path, but with a cooperative spin. Die and die again, only to be reborn stronger than before to try and try again. It's a satisfying pattern in the right hands. The studio formerly made Curse of the Dead Gods, but you'll be playing as dead folk heroes like Little Red Riding Hood and the Pied Piper. It's launching into early access and is a solid primer for the impending Diablo 4. Back in the early aughts, the Game Boy Advance was a dominant force. Its installed base was so huge that just about any solid game could succeed. Capcom capitalized with the Mega Man Battle Network series of strategy RPGs. The Blue Bomber on a grid, taking on his iconic foes, proved to be a cult hit that spanned a massive 10 entries, though some of those are just color variants like Pokemon. Well, they've all been collected together in the Legacy Collection, with some slight improvements. Just keep in mind that the digital version of the collection is split into 2 parts. The overworld has united against a piglin's invasion, and it's up to you to command your pixelated troops and stop them. Mojang is describing Minecraft Legends as an action strategy game, but in reality, it mixes real-time strategy, survival, and building into what will hopefully be one cohesive whole. The world is split into biomes that you must traverse on a mount while you collect building materials, use them to build bases, complete missions, and battle piglin mobs. There's a lot going on here, but one thing we're already certain of is that it maintains the Minecraft aesthetic that has made it one of the industry's most iconic properties. While we wait, and wait, and wait some more for Mario Kart 9, some folks are stepping into the void. A new LEGO kart racer was just announced, but before that, we get Mickey and crew in Disney Speedstorm. It launches into early access this month and will include Jack Sparrow, Goofy, Donald Duck, Mulan, and so many more. Tracks based on your favorite Disney properties complete the motif, while you can count on the kart racing essentials like item boxes, power-ups, turbo pads, aerial tricks, and more. Crossplay and cross-save are also included, and best of all, it's free to play. Plunk down some cash for one of 3 Founders Packs to move up in the starting grid. League of Legends is known as the biggest and best MOBA around, but recently its characters have left Summoner's Rift to try on some new genres. The latest is isometric action RPG The Mage Seeker, a League of Legends story. Starring the chain-bound Sylas, you're tasked with liberating your homeland of Demacia from the tyranny of the Mage Seekers. Magic and melee are doled out in equal proportions, but not just by Sylas. You'll collect new allies as you progress through the game, and you must harness their power to upgrade the base and your abilities. If you love the characters of League of Legends, but not its MOBA gameplay, this is right up your lane. It's been over a year since Horizon Forbidden West launched, and now we're finally receiving some story DLC. Called Burning Shores, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic Los Angeles, and if it's anything like the DLC for the first Horizon, it won't be easy. But at least she has a brand new flying contraption called a Sunwing, so she can avoid the city's notorious traffic. Or maybe just its lava since it's turned into a volcanic archipelago. Aloy is hot on the heels of a sinister new threat, and she'll have to investigate a multitude of iconic LA landmarks to track them down. One thing to keep in mind is that this expansion is for PS5 players only. If you played the base game on PS4, your adventure is complete. If you're a fan of the Game Boy Advance, this is like the best month ever. In addition to the Mega Man revival, we also receive one of the best handheld strategy games from that era when the Advance Wars franchise is compiled and re-released for Switch with Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. The first 2 games are included in this package that was delayed for quite a while to show some respect for the people of Ukraine. The gameplay in this militaristic, turn-based strategy franchise has always been deep and thoughtful, but now it gets a new coat of paint as well. If the phrase, "one more turn," breaks you out into a cold sweat, this might be the only game you need to buy for the rest of this year. Here at Sifted, we have a term for video games that are canceled and later revived. We call them video game zombies. And there's not another game that better fits this description than Dead Island 2. Originally unveiled well over a decade ago, it's been a long, shambling walk towards completion. It's reportedly been started and stopped multiple times, but this final version was started in 2019 and has followed a normal development schedule. Just like its predecessor, it's primarily a melee-driven zombie mashing game, but this time, the gore has been turned up to 10 thanks to its revolutionary flesh dismemberment system. You can also get clever using the streets of LA and their corresponding trash to your advantage. It's back from the dead, and for good this time. We'd be lying if we said we've been happy with Star Wars video game output since EA obtained the license. New releases have been slow, and some have been underwhelming, but Star Wars Jedi Survivor isn't going to be one of them. The follow-up to the excellent Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is an action game with combat that has a real bite. You won't hack and slash your way through this Metroidvania. Each swing of the lightsaber must have meaning, or the punishing enemy AI will deliver a reminder. It takes place 5 years after the first game, as Cal Kestis flees from Order 66 and the Galactic Empire that wants to make the Jedi extinct. Fallen Order was our Game of the Year back in 2019, and we're confident this is the sequel we're looking for. Thanks for checking out our rundown of games worth buying in April 2023. There are at least 10 other games worth serious consideration this month, so head to sifted.net, where we give you a custom content feed from your favorite sites and creators, which helps you find your next favorite game. If you like what we're doing, head to patreon.com/sifted and give us a monthly pledge. We'll see you next month for the next entry in Dossier.